Oh, wait, hold on. Toodaloo, guys. Ooh, the ladder's out here. Maybe they're planning on changing the lights.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Stuffing in between these beams. And welcome to Overtime, brought to you by KingsCast at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Korneluk.
And I'm Chris Kalazewski.
And here we are. Everything's gone to crap. Oh, God.
That's right, Keith. It's episode 98. Moving right along here. Tonight we're going to talk about the Colorado Avalanche game. We're going to talk about tonight's game against the Edmonton Oilers. And we're going to talk about, obviously, the big injury to Anze Kopitar. And we're also going to do a new segment that we like to call Doing Lines.
So settle back, pour yourself a stiffy. It is episode 98 entitled The Sky Fell.
Keith, so on Saturday, played the Colorado Avalanche.
Oh, yes.
A team that I think we can all agree that since the All-Star break is the worst team in the National Hockey League. They're making Edmonton look good.
Absolutely awful. That Eric Johnson trade, former number one overall pick, is looking like a genius trade by the St. Louis Blues because he kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, he's one of those bust number one picks. It's rare, but it happens. Colorado going for a big D man, but that's about it. But luckily the Kings were able to play that team because they need the points.
Yeah, we do, and we're coming really close. Rich Hammond said the threshold is 97, so we're getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Good game to start. A lot of nice action, but really the story of it was, Chris, Anze Kopitar fell awkwardly to the ice. It ends up being a broken ankle that's going to require surgery. He's gone, even if we're in the Stanley Cup Finals, which we're not going to be.
Well, yeah, originally they were saying it was 6 weeks, if we make it deep without him, surprisingly, that we might be okay, but found out later that will require surgery. He'll be back in the middle of the summer when hockey is not being played, so we'll see him next season. And I'm not going to lie, Keith, I think collectively, and Kings fans everywhere, all over the world, had this reaction.
Chris, first of all, I remember watching the replay when we got home from the game. And, he goes down, and Jim Fox, it was one of those really, personal moments that kind of captured the hearts of Kings fans. He just quietly said, "Get up, Anze." And you kind of knew that it was over. Losing Anze Kopitar, we've lost Drew Doughty, Willie Mitchell, Matt Green. Even if we lost Jonathan Quick, the sky is descending rapidly, but definitely has not fell. But losing Anze Kopitar, it makes Michael Handzus your number one center. And we were talking about it earlier, depth at center the Kings actually have, except Laktianov is out for the season. Braden Shen cannot be called up to the Kings unless he's eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, Trevor Lewis is our second-line center, dude.
Yeah, it's tough times. I mean, we look at that replay. It's honestly hard to watch. I mean, I saw a lot of replays of it. You can tell right away the way his skate was awkwardly twisted underneath him on the ice, and the look on his face, sort of a definitive picture of the end of the Kings season. Just the wincing, it was awful. It was hard to see for a guy who's played 300-plus games in a row, broken the Kings record just last week for consecutive games played. But losing Anze Kopitar is like the Lakers losing Kobe Bryant. I mean, this is absolutely devastating.
Good comparison. He's, 6th or 7th in the NHL in scoring. He's definitely having a good season. A little slow to start, definitely, but that big body center who's developed some good chemistry with Dustin Penner, losing him, he's just irreplaceable. And there was this sort of sadness and melancholy among all Kings fans because let's face it, guys, we're not winning a game in the playoffs without Anze Kopitar. Let's compete with the Nashville Predators.
No, we'll also talking about a player who's, playing awesome power play time and really developed a defensive game this year. We're talking about him being a Selke Trophy candidate this year, which is phenomenal for a guy like him who's been working really hard on developing that game, and he's got the big body, but, oh, man. I don't even know what to say. It's depressing.
Yeah, so looking ahead, obviously, if 97 points is our threshold, obviously we won tonight in Edmonton. We'll talk about that in a sec. We're 3 points away from 97, so we need to win once and lose once in regulation, and, we probably have it. But I can't think of a matchup outside of the Predators that I would say the Kings have a fighting chance at winning without Anze Kopitar.
No, it's going to be tough. We talk about the team stepping up. We talk about, everyone else trying to carry the load, but it's hard when you have a player like Kopitar who's really been stepping up scoring-wise lately. He had that horrendous streak where he didn't score for 20 games or something like that. It was terrible, but he stepped it up. He had a hat trick recently. We didn't think he'd hit 25 goals, but he did, and it's devastating.
Well, you talked just a second ago about stepping it up, and to me, it's like if Kopitar was back for the first or maybe the second round of the playoffs, maybe the team does step up, and they pull it together and they go on an amazing win streak. They're winning one for the Gipper, but he's gone completely, Chris. I mean, how much coming together, and now we're going to find out what kind of characters in the locker room can we really get away with? Maybe to the playoffs, maybe win one game. I mean.
Well, now what's depressing is that we're starting to worry about how he's going to be next year. He loses valuable conditioning time. These injuries damage ligaments. I mean, that's pretty serious. I mean, it takes a while to get back there. Ask anyone else who's torn some ligaments how long it takes. For some players, it takes a year. I mean, sometimes it takes a whole season. It's rough, but we're just hoping that Anže is okay. Obviously, he's the cornerstone of the franchise, so we're hoping there.
Get well soon, buddy.
Yeah, bud.
Kings, Kopitar-less went into Edmonton tonight to face the Oilers, who, I mean, they suck. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about a matchup to start the Kopitar-less era, that's definitely an opponent that you'd want to face.
Pretty good matchup, definitely. Yeah. Obviously they're a speedy team. They were without Taylor Hall. Kings had Hanzus as number one center, Trevor Lewis as number two, Jarrett Stoll, who they actually gave the alternate captain to, is number three. And, kind of a tight game, but Dustin Brown and Trevor Lewis, holy chemistry, Kalzewski, Brown with 2 goals, Lewis with 2 assists. Just a really good play from the two of them.
Yeah, hoping this little clicking thing these guys got going on will carry over because obviously, like we said, we're going to need everyone to kind of step up and make it happen. But, won a game they absolutely should have won. And Jonathan Bernier had a fantastic game out there. Hasn't lost. I remember the last time he lost in regulation.
I remember the last time he led in a goal. I mean.
Yeah, it's been a while. He got his 3rd shutout tonight. So, won that game, got 2 crucial points. Everyone else, it seems, keeps winning as well. We talked about the standings update tonight. Kings, I believe, were in 4th.
4th, 1 point above Phoenix. That game just finished, so we don't know what the score is because, it's whatever time it is right now. But 4th or 5th for the Los Angeles Kings. Good place to be. I don't know where we're going to end up, but...
it's too close to tell right now. You've got Nashville playing well. I think it's safe to say that it's down to 10 teams now.
Probably.
Off the top 8. Minnesota, please. You guys, it's not going to happen. So there's going to be a couple teams that get left out. I don't know if that's going to be Nashville or if that's going to be Dallas or Calgary. I don't know. A couple teams are going to be left out. So we're just hoping the Kings can hang in there and try to get in there and see what happens. That's all I can do.
I want to say one thing. I don't know if you're going to agree with me here. I want the Anaheim Mighty Ducks to make the playoffs. I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be better if we played them. I mean, maybe not without Kopitar because we'd probably lose, but I kind of want to see all Pacific Division teams make the playoffs.
I think that right now, the way it's going right now, that we're looking at a situation where we could see all 5 teams in there.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. So, Kings fans, your question of the day is, do you want the Anaheim Ducks to make the playoffs? Everybody's going to say no, but leave your comments as always downstairs.
All right, Kings fans. So obviously with the injuries, things are going to get messed up a little bit. Need to mix things up to see how we're going to play out the rest of the season, possibly the playoffs. So this is a segment that we actually had back in the podcast days. And Keith, it's time to do some lines.
Well, it's been a while for me.
Yeah.
All right, so Kings fans, there's a lot of people with a lot of different opinions. Obviously, we have them. They're strong, and quite frankly, they're right. So we're going to go over what our line combination should be for the Los Angeles Kings. Chris, line 1, what do you got?
All right, so line 1, we obviously have Penner, Stoll, and Mueller out there on the right wing. It makes sense. You put the best skilled players out there, and I think it's the best way to actually get some 5-on-5 scoring.
You need that speed on the top line. Stoll, absolutely. Second line, we have Ryan Smith, Trevor Lewis, and Dustin Brown. So we agree with Terry Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good.
And the third line, actually, we're going to kind of keep put. Obviously we haven't had the production, even though Murray called out Ponikarovsky last week that he needs to step it a little bit more. But I think he's really saying that now with Kopitar out. But we still have Pawnee, Zeus, and Wayne Simmons.
By the way, how are you going to score 25 goals on the third line or power play time? I'm just saying. Okay, going on to the fourth line. Now, we do disagree. First of all, why you would ever scratch anyone ahead of Westgarth is unbelievable. We have a fourth line of Clifford, Richardson, and Peter Harold.
Yeah, it makes sense, anything without Westgarth is good with me on that fourth line.
I mean, he was fun. He was good a guy at Tippecanoe or whatever, but Westgarth sucks.
Yeah, come on. So I think this is the best winning line combinations for the team going into the rest of the season for the last 6 games and hopefully into the playoffs.
There we go, where we win the cup.
All right, Kings fans, so the road trip continues, and this will be a true test for the Kings without Kopitar, and they're going into Vancouver to play on the team that is President's Trophy bound, and this will be interesting to see. Will they be stepping up and tearing us up like we kind of thought, or will they be sitting back because they have everything sort of wrapped up and they're getting ready to be the number 1, maybe number 2 seed? So we'll see.
Well, I don't think it's a true test, Chris. I think it's going to be a true massacre. That's just me being a pessimistic Kings fan. So, I don't know. Stay tuned for that. We'll be right back at you on Saturday after whoever we're playing at Staples Center.
Dallas.
Enjoy that. I'm Keith Kornelek.
And I'm Chris Kalziewski.
And thank you for watching Overtime by KingsCast.